Hi, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today I'm going to show you the differences of growth rate from the female side of it. So as you can see, these two pullets in front of us are very different sizes, and they're 4 weeks apart in age. The little one is 4 weeks old and weighs 11 ounces, and the bigger one is 8 weeks old and she weighs 1 pound and 11 ounces. So that's what a 1 pound difference in size looks like. I wish that older one had darker legs, but can't win everything. Both of them feel just as fleshy as the other in terms of their meat to bone ratio and how they feel in the hands. The only thing that's different is the substance, which is based off of age. So I also have 3 other females here. Over here in position 1, she's 11 weeks old. And she weighs in at 3 pounds, 1 ounce. I still need my cheat sheet. I didn't memorize everything. The middle bird, she is 16 weeks old, and she is spot on to 4 pounds. And down on the end is a 1-year-old hen, and she weighs in at an even 6 pounds. These birds may or may not be related to some extent. They're at least partially related. I grabbed them out of different pens in different places just for the sake of the visual representation of growth rate. They all have the same feel that I love to put my hands on. But man, to get from that little one, to get up to here, and to finally end up here. Somehow I managed to gain leg length. May or may not be something I need to address. But this yearling female has spent the last 6 months proving herself. She is going to move into next season. That's when she's going to make probably the best offspring of her life. Next season, the season after, we'll see how far she can go. She is due for a molt. She looks pretty cruddy, but at this age, you're going to have that. But overall, she's passed through the selection. She doesn't look like much, but what she throws forward is actually pretty decent. The feel. I wish I could pluck her out and show you. But I'm still waiting on the dinner girls to come up of age. This one, she's getting another pass. She's going to move forward up until laying age. We're going to see how she does for the first 3 months of laying. And then we're going to see how she does for the next 6 months after that before we make final decisions. But I like her a lot. We'll see what her comb does, because her comb isn't going to come up to size until after she begins laying. It'll bloom right before laying, and then time will tell how bad it ends up being. I always anticipate a wonky comb just because of how much else I'm paying attention to. Baby steps, baby steps. But the difference in height, that's interesting. Same genetic pool. Aw, your voice is starting to change. 11 weeks old. Little tiny bit shorter than the 16-week-old. Pound less in weight. I wonder if she's gonna mature faster. She's already got more comb and wattle development. That'll be interesting to see, and it's also important to pay attention to, because if they mature too fast and if they begin laying too soon, that comes with its own ramifications. They tend to lose overall size if they start laying too soon, and then their offspring can subsequently get smaller than they are. So that's something that I'm watching, is when they actually come of age. This morning started with me looking at the 16-week-olds. This one I liked a lot because she wasn't as overly developed as some other ones, but she's still looking the part. I really like seeing this darker leg color because that's something I was working on this year. That's a couple of shades darker than this yearling. Neat. I love the tail angle on this female because it's low. Lower than what the standard wants, which means there's a tolerance with her to how high the tail can be on the male she's with. Can't tell what's going to happen with this tail. She's only got like 2 feathers showing. We'll find out more in another 2 to 3 weeks in that regard. The 11-week-old, promising tail, but it needs to molt and regrow. And we'll see how she continues to bulk up. She's pretty similar to the 16-week-old. She's probably going to get just as tall. And these guys, the kids, 4 weeks apart. I wish the leg color was better on the 8-week-old, but can't get everything. All of these girls so far are really promising, but it's too soon to make that final judgment call. You got to give them that first year. Let them prove themselves. Next spring, this female here, I may try her with a couple of different males, but I think I like the results of the one she's with. You're being so nice to that little one. This is the first time these two have met. Gosh, I like her a lot. It's hard to describe too, because I've gotten to the point now to where I can just look at a bird and go yes or no, put my hands on it to confirm. She felt nice. And she also volunteered for this. I walked up to the pen. She's in there with 7 others, and I opened up the door and I said, I need a volunteer. And she was the one that came walking out. So A+ Temperament there. And Temperament is on my list for selection parameters after we get through the growth rate portion and the fleshing and the overall structure and all of the other details. She ended up in the pen she was in for density, the feel of the fleshing, her body width, but her rate of lay too. She's one of my rock star layers, so that's where we have some tolerance on the comb and stuff. I don't know how many times I've said it, and I probably can't say it enough, but breeding is about incremental improvements, and literally no one has the perfect flock, and all flocks are in a constant state of development. And doing stuff like this, that's what I'm doing right now, is going to help with developmental choices. If I'm calling enough, if I'm not calling enough. But next season, I'm going to have to start pair hatching if I want to see any progress. especially if I want to know where that progress is coming from. Especially now that I have a good enough group of pretty decent females to really get down to who the best ones are. And she's going to be a part of that process. And then we'll see exactly what you make and who your kids are. And if they did us any favors. The way that I've been doing things in small group hatches, some of these birds make me want to know who their specific parents were, especially this Pullet. Oh, I wish I knew who her mother was. I know who the dad is. I know what pen she came from. I would say she's one to repeat that breeding. There's more growth to get through and more details to find out, but I'd like to have these results on repeat. And the only way to do that is to track what I'm doing and track where they're coming from. So, changing my ways next season. That has to happen. I've put it off for too long. And this season, I had some really great results. But I have to keep everything the same in order to see those results again. I need to get down to the pair if I'm going to make any more progress. I've dialed in a lot, especially growth rate. Every time I think I'm about finished, I find some more stuff I got to work on. Man, I had no idea this stuff was going to get so detailed. But it is. Alright. I'm going to get these guys back where they go. Oh, where are you going? Hello. You're so cute. Alright. More on this later.